Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, hello
Hello.
everyone.
Hi. Hi. So this is end of the year party, HDMD party, right? HDMD
Yep.
Community Leaders
Yeah.
Party. So let's group together and come up with some conversation which makes sense for IT pros, right? Probably we are going to share something surprising. Maybe Microsoft is planning to do this or that. No, we are not going to do that, right? So what we are trying to do is we will go around the table and we'll let others to speak and all of us to speak about this year's experience. What was the IT experience for this year, and what would be the expectation for the next year, right? What is the big tech thing you worked on this year, and what would be the expected big tech thing for the next year, right? So that
Yep.
is the topic of for today. So before getting into that, what I wanted to do is a quick recap of HTMD community, and why didn't we do a conference this year, and what we are planning to do for the next year, etc., right? So last year in 2021 we had a good conference with lot of international speakers and lot of attendees, and that was a big success. Okay, and we worked as a team, we worked tirelessly to pull that event, make that very successful. So thank you all for attending, all for contributing to the community, right? That is the essence of this group. We are all community leaders, and we are here to help the entire community, IT community. So whatever way it may be, probably by blogging or by sharing some tips in LinkedIn groups or Twitter, or through the video tutorials or something like that, right? So that is all about the community contributions which we are doing from a community standpoint. Now about the conference, why we didn't do a conference this year? Because initially we wanted to do something physical event this year. We wanted to plan for that, but honestly most of us were not ready for a physical event, because we are very used to the virtual events and digital events, right? So we were very comfortable with the digital events, especially I think I'm going to take a name over here. uh, I think Joy is very comfortable with digital event, and why we are planning to have a physical event next year, HTMD Community Day or HTMD Conference, because we want to get Joy out of his comfort zone. Okay. So if Joy is coming to our physical event, we are ready to conduct a physical event. So it's uh, it's up to Joy now. So if you have a question, you can ask. You know Joy, right? You can reach him through Twitter, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and you can ask him questions. Can you please come? And you can request him, right? So yeah, that is seriously, we are planning for some events in 2023, and we will communicate that later at the start of next year. All right. So so that is about the future events and future exciting things coming. So so I talked about event and the topic for today. Now I am going to switch over and hand over the mic to someone else. Okay, so who wants to go first? Tick tick one, tick tick two.
I can go first.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here. I remember it just feels like yesterday that we had the session last year. I remember the top of the mind during that session was coronavirus and working from home and COVID shots. And now, 1 year later, it just feels so normal that we have got used to this normal setup, right? So much has changed as far as our lifestyle is concerned. And so much has changed in terms of technology as well. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, which I was very excited to talk about last year, was Windows 365. I mean, last year we just announced it. We were not really sure how it's going to do. It had limited features. All we could do was hybrid Azure AD join of a machine that we were provisioning through Windows 365. Now, 365 days later, so much has changed. Our Windows 365 MVPs will get more into it. But I mean, so much has advanced. We have seen so many customers adopting it. So many new features have come up. We have community leaders who are talking about Windows 365, and it definitely looks like the next big thing. So Windows 365 definitely would be one of the things that I was really excited about last year. It's really great to see the growth that the technology has shown. Now, as far as Intune is concerned, there are a lot of things that we released within the last year. Um, Few of them still in public preview, few of them are in GA now. Couple of things that comes to the top of my mind was, well, not exactly in the order of preference, but couple of things that comes to my mind is first is the announcement for AOSP enrollment. So AOSP, again, I feel that it is again a very big mode of enrollment that we are going to see. Special, I mean, right now the only suggested device platform is RealVear, but soon we are going to add a whole bunch of devices that are going to be certified as AOSP enrollment certified devices. So again, I believe that is going to be a very big thing, especially in zones where there is no GMS, right? Where is no Google service. Over there, using AOSP is the recommended approach. So yeah, I mean, that is again a big announcement that we have made. The list is going to increase. Very excited about that. Then we made a few smaller improvements in the product, like for example, enrollment notification. Now, in my experience, I have seen a lot of customers telling us that, you know what, users mistakenly enroll their devices. We as an admin don't have in control. Well, obviously we can set up something like an enrollment restriction, but we don't have a lot of granular control, or we cannot find out who is enrolling the devices and when. So that is when we release the enrollment notification process, and now admins have a better visibility into the kind of devices that are coming into the environment and can have a holistic understanding. Then we released the advanced endpoint management solutions like the remote help, which again is going to be a very good feature, because as an admin we always have to troubleshoot, we always have to take remote of the devices, and having a tool which is inbuilt into Intune is going to be very helpful. And then, well, there were a few other things that were included in the advanced suite, like Microsoft Tunnel for MAM and the endpoint privilege management. So again, that is a add-on to Intune, if you would think it that way. Many more features are going to be added to it, but I believe that the advanced endpoint management suite is something that is going to show to the customers why Intune stands out as far as other MDM technologies are concerned. And well, there were some other announcements like decommissioning of WIP and then moving to Microsoft Purview and stuff like that. I don't want to list all the topics. I want to leave the rest of them for the rest of my folks. But the point that I wanted to make and the point that I wanted to highlight was there are a lot of cool features that are coming up in Intune. There are a lot of cool features that are in development in Intune. There are a lot of good announcements that we have made, and please stay tuned into how to manage devices community. And we are going to have amazing sessions for all of you, wherein we are going to learn about all of this together.
So before going to anyone else, I think your bet is on Windows 365 and Intune, right? So for the future or next year as well. Okay, that's cool. And even I think Satya is also betting on that, because he is kind of highlighting Windows 365 in all the conferences, all the keynotes. So yeah, we know what is going to happen. At least we can guess. Yeah.
I will go next. Okay. So 2022 is being a challenging year for me. So a lot of challenges in terms of technical implementation. So doing a design implementation of the Intune autopilot solutions to the few customers, right? So there, I would I would recommend, means I would suggest to Microsoft to have some solutions for the few areas where we having a very big challenges, And see, when we going for the solutioning, right, we do have some solutions, everything on the one umbrella instead of having for another product. Like take an example, the privilege management, right? So Microsoft introduced now, right, with that. Previously they do have another product like Beyond Trust, have Vector products are in place. They are very good product, I'm not saying it's not, but instead of everything on a one shoot, it's be easy for the administrations, right? That's one. So that is one important. The second one is the driver management. That is a big area where we struggle for the large customers, where in the small customers we don't have any issues. For the large customers, for Dell, HP, Lenovo, uh, we do have it in SCCM, but we don't have it in Intune, right? So we easily manage by assume via driver updates, where in Intune we don't have it. So still we have to manage the core management capabilities for the larger customers, right? Otherwise we can go with the vendor product to manage the drivers, right? That's the one. The third one is the group policy management, right? If we want to, we are proposing the customer for that entire hybrid, means entire into Azure environment, right? So why we do have a challenges when we go with hybrid environment, right? Few policies, yes, easily we can easily migrate from on-prem to Intune, where few policies being very challenging for it, right? These are the areas I struggle a lot for this for this year. Okay, so yes, other than that, yes, upcoming tools, like other than the Microsoft Intune, there are more tools are coming up in the market for the end user experience. So we are exploring it for the project project proposal, right? So for 2023, my goal is to be entire Intune shoot, which say from starting from the autopilot, privilege management, everything with Windows 365, right? This is what my goal to be for the customers. Yes, I'm learning a lot still. And I would say in this forum, I would say Joy and Anup, um, for the tank for the initial. This initially I struggle in a project for hybrid environment. So JavaScript helps me a lot for the post hybrid setup, right, Joyce? So I was keep on getting a help from Roy Tanks a lot, right? So yes, next year it's going to be next year. Yes, and I want to say that, right? My one of my customer always appreciate Joy's post, and Joy's helps as well. So whenever the issues comes up, can you check with Joy on that? I will say yes, but definitely no. I don't want to disturb him until unless it's really needed, right? So yes, right. This is the most important areas, right? So and another security things is for the large customers, we're going for the large customers where in insurance or life science or healthcare customers, right? They are having their own naming standard. When we are going with Azure, means Azure AD environment is totally different. Wherein when you're going with hybrid environment, the name limitations, right? It's totally different. Wherein they have the in-house security tools where they have certain policies, information to be gathered with the user informations, like they can populate in ERP solutions or PeopleSoft solutions, right? So based on the principal names and the computer name, right? So wherein hybrid environment, we do have a challenges. For example, your company hosted in EMEA, North America, APAC, and Africa regions, right? If you take North America, they have the different sites. If you take EMEA, they have the different countries, different sites. They will have the whole name, right? But in hybrid, we do have a challenges, right? And it will take the administrative overload. So it if you have someone, so you have to propose this is the my best solution how we do for Azure AADs who have in hybrid environment. It will be good. This is one of the challenge, right? So it's need see again, yes, we can rename it, but after rename it, the success rate, I would say it's 80%, not the 20% still it's failing. Hybrid environment by being a custom script, right? Yes, this is the
Hybrid is
one.
evil, huh?
Yeah, some kind. Yes.
No, no, I know a lot of scenarios. The organization, they don't want to move to pure Azure AD join.
Yeah, these are the pros and cons. It's easy,
Yeah.
good. So yeah, and additionally, right, wherein some companies they do have the same security tools. So those tools like SSO, single sign-on operations tools, right? Those tools will validate the user identity, wherein it's not having a capability to do the system validation, whether the system belongs to a specific company or not, right? And additionally, other than the Microsoft MFA, they do have other third-party MFA as well. Those are also having a big challenges, right? Probably the Microsoft would consider those tools as an upcoming market to adopt the technology. It's easy for us to take it forward,
So
especially for the
what is your biggest tech thing apart from the challenges? Huh? So
that the tech thing is, yes, actually, I can see a lot of improvement from the Microsoft side compared to, I would say that 2020 to 2020 to 2021 and 22, there are a lot of changes being happening. So I hope that it's keep on improving from the solutions. It help us to, as a system admins, that help us to take it forward, right?
you see a lot of energy put into end user experience.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so is there any specific tools or vendors, some vendor names you can specify if
No,
you
no. One of
remember?
the, I would say that see, one of the tool is the next thing is coming up in the market, right? Next thing is coming in the market. It's capturing everything on the end user experience, right? So we are working from the end user experience. Everything is capturing from the end user experience, right? Number one. Number two is Intel also or developed the tool called Intel OOB experience. You heard about it or not? The remote tool wherein it's coming with the market, the cost wise also seems to be good, wherein for us it will be helpful for us to implement, means even I personally recommend to do that for the autopilot or Intune solutions, especially for the largest customers, smaller customers. It's one time implementation cost, wherein how the myself and Anup will know that KVM switches earlier days, right? Whenever we have 5 laptops using a KVM switch, we can do the imaging part, right? So if the Intel is bringing that kind of solutions wherein you can take the BIOS level encryptions, everything, right? And also another tool called Absolute. It's an encryption tool, what BIOS level and OS level. It's also coming up in the market. It's going for the larger. So about the challenges, the Gscaler VPN, right? The one of the upcoming Gscaler VPN. So that's also having the autopilot challenges, right? So Gscaler also doing a lot of improvement to adopt with the Microsoft technologies, right? Previously having a Gscaler not support autopilot, right? Because it won't have the system improving that now adopted. That's also a good one. Good one is coming up, right? So it's a collaboration between the third party vendor and Microsoft, uh, put on their solutions together to provide the customer experience.
Hey, good. So that was a lot of real world experience. Huh? So very good
Yep.
conversation, Kannan. So I don't know who want to go next.
Yep. Like having weekly releases for Microsoft Intune, 365 days, like uh, I think 53 or 54 weeks a year. I'm very bad in maths, but whatever that is, like it's very hard to keep a track of all the improvements that are getting put into the product by the development team actually. And there are a lot of developments, lot of improvements in the product in itself. So if I talk about the best thing that has happened, introduction of filters has been a very effective part of doing deployments of policies and configurations, because other than like only having inclusion and exclusion, now within inclusion you can also exclude certain things and parts of that, so that helps in that control deployment and things like that. So that has been a good work. Then I I have seen a lot of improvements happening in the reporting side of Intune as well, because that has always been a complaint for the product. SCCM having better reporting, Intune doesn't catching up or things like that. But now there's like natively you can get a lot of reports out of Intune which you can use without any customization or creating any other dashboard in Power BI or things like that. So that has definitely helped things. Uh, the third think what I think the recent development with the Microsoft Store, the Winget thing, getting into, it's kind of similar like how we install applications with Linux. Like you have repositories, you configure the repositories to get your applications. uh, Microsoft has done almost kind of similar with the ISVs and Microsoft Store, so you can get your applications from there directly on the devices. So with this, like you now even get Win32 applications. If the vendor of the application is uploading to the ISV as a Win32 app, you can directly use that, and just by searching it from within the portal, you don't need to even do a Win32 repackaging for the same. So it helps saving in a lot of application repackaging thing. So for example, if we take into consideration uh, you have we are migrating a lot of applications from SCCM to Intune. When we actually go and rationalize the application for the environment, we see a lot of the applications are just common applications like Adobe and things like that, which you can now actually directly get into Intune without even doing a repackaging of those. So that has been a good development. And obviously, yes, Windows 365 is going great, and it has helped me to be remote, to be honest, because many of the times I go out on trips with my friends having only my iPad. And I am good that Atos has signed up for the Windows 365, so I do have a license assigned to me so that I can use one. And it helps me to have the same Windows experience on a device even when I'm like traveling or having something outside from another device. Because to be honest, like, yeah, Outlook, Teams and things, we can also connect from an iPhone or iPad or tablet and things like that, but sometimes we do need the desktop experience to get some work done. And that is where Windows 365 comes in very handy for things like this. And obviously it's aiming big, like giving a big competition to the Citrix and all those other virtualization things. And the things I look forward in 2023 is obviously when the advanced suite gets released for Microsoft. I know it will be uh, with an additional price tag that it comes in, but generally I do not agree with that, because if you are taking a M365 E5, then you are already taking the flagship licensing, and then you make the customer pay extra for some advanced features. But that's good, yep, not a problem. But of that suit, the most important thing that caught my eye would be the privilege management. Endpoint privilege management uh, is something that will surely help in provide end users with the just-in-time elevation rights on the devices without giving the local admin rights. Windows 11 Cloud Labs is currently in preview with Windows 11 Insider Preview build, but endpoint privilege management and Cloud Labs are two complete different solutions. One, like if I talk about labs, it is more about giving the local IT or help desk the admin privileges on the devices, where they can retrieve the password and log into the device using an admin account. But sometimes people also want to have a just-in-time elevation right to perform some activities. So that is currently not possible natively with Microsoft, but that thing is coming. So it's there. Yep, that's more of it, I think.
Anything for the future next year? What is the most exciting thing for you? Maybe from a tech world. No, you already mentioned a lot of things like admin privileges and Windows 365, future of Windows 365, Winget without Win32 repackaging efforts. So those are great points, and those are coming up for the next year, right? Probably.
Next year,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I would also be looking into like what sort of said, like the AOSP enrollment when it gets available for the other devices, because currently in its form, if we look into the Android open source platform, it means that it should allow devices that are non-GMS certified to get enrolled into Intune, but currently that's limited to realware devices only until and unless it gets uh, or it broadens itself to the other platforms, like within Android, other platforms with other devices. It really does have no meaning at its present form, because not every organization do have realware devices. So that is one thing, and it helps to plan a solution for your mobile devices where GMS services are not available. Instead, like for example, where GMS services are not available, app protection policies are the only way that we can do now. Or you deploy a policy and then wait for 8 hours and like wait when the device will connect back, it will get its policy and things like that. So there's no real-time control on the devices. That would be one thing. Yes, definitely. Um, I'm actually looking for how will Microsoft clear up the Microsoft Store for businesses, because from me as well as for a lot of customers that I have handled, uh, there were a lot of like we raised a few tickets with Microsoft support, and they were clueless of how to remove the MSfB junk applications from the portal, because at its current state, like even if you do not use an application from MSfB, and the controls are taken away, like you cannot even remove an application from MSfB now, and the application stays up within the list of application in Intune. And so that would be a good thing to watch out for, how Microsoft will go ahead and do a mass cleanup of that. So these are all the things that we will be looking for. But definitely, if we talk about improvements, the product is improving, I would say, every week, every day. With it's even hard for us to keep a track of what new thing has been launched. Okay, we also need to get our hands dirty on that. We need to check it out before we can even go out to our customers and give a solution for something like that. So it's they are doing a tremendous job of keeping us busy. So good work, Microsoft. That's all I can say.
Okay, good stuff, Joy. Who is next?
Yeah, I can go next
Okay.
actually. Mine is comparatively shorter. I recently joined a new team. Earlier, I no more working with SCCM now. I've been SCCM is Intune my bread and butter for long, many years. But I think it's been 3 months now. I stopped doing patching. I was doing the patching for many years. I'm not doing the patching SCCM related, any of the SCCM related activities anymore now.
And you need to specify that you are doing SCCM 2007 patching.
No. We are
No,
here. We are doing. We are moved to current branch. That earlier it was very long back.
yeah, I know.
Now it is. Now we are completely moved to the current branch itself. So that's in which way. So patching is gone now. I mean, last 2 years, along with the patching, I was handling the cloud security related. I was working closely with our security team to implement the cloud policies. And it's not very easy when you implement some other policies, right? You'll always have a lot of pushback from the line of business. When you implement some policies, they will say that no, some of these things are not working, some of those things are not working. We need exception. So most of the time, it goes into convincing them, saying that no, you should not keep this, you should not have that. That's how majority of the time went. Got good exposure on cloud security policies, though we could not enforce majority of it the way we wanted. Uh, but that's how it goes actually. And then recently moved into the Azure team, and then I'm really excited for the Azure. We've been working on our team works with Azure pipelines. I mean, till that time, I didn't know. I mean, DevOps was like Jenkins, all those things, the outside terms you get to hear, right? And then we got to know that Azure DevOps is itself is a very vast, and then getting to work on Azure pipelines and then runbooks, automation runbooks, and then learning a lot about the automation. So I'm excited for that, and then already getting my hands dirty with that. And then my currently company, a few other exciting things are happening like HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens and Power Platforms. Those things are, we have Digital Workspace team in our company, they are using it. And then one of my colleague, I was mentioning the Rajesh name, right? He generally wear that HoloLens and he types in the air something like this. And then I was first when I saw that what he was doing, virtual reality was new to me that time. But when I saw that, okay, this is how it goes. Those things are exciting. And then looking forward to see how much I can do in the Azure DevOps, and then automation related is what I'm looking forward for the next year. With one challenge I would say is that when we do provide subscriptions to our lineups, we have enterprise agreement with Microsoft, so we provide subscriptions to the Microsoft. At times, what happens is that when we try to create the subscriptions or something, the providers take a lot of time to register, and then we don't really know. Even though we reach out to Microsoft, there is one or the other outage, they do something, and then it really takes to get the subscription done. When line of business want a subscription, it generally takes, our script generally takes like 1 hour. But if there is an issue with Microsoft, it really takes like days together to get that fixed. If they can do some improvements, I mean, we did reach out to them over the multiple times. We have did reach out to them with the tickets and other things, but it's always a new thing for them whenever we reach out to them. Probably that they can improve is what I felt throughout this Azure journey, like last 6-7 months. And looking forward for more on the Azure automation, and then Azure DevOps is what I'm hoping for the next year. And then I wish I can contribute a little more for the HTMD as well. I was not doing much on that. Apart from I mean, it was the time when I was working with Anup. I did try to do some blogs. After that, I hardly did that.
So it's all about the priority, right? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing great, and if you are open to contribute to the community, whichever way it is fine, right? It is not always with the blogs, or you can. There are a lot of other ways, right? So. Yeah, interesting points. Power Platform, and probably we might miss that Intune integration with Power Platform is coming. So a lot of exciting stuff probably coming in that front as well. And
Even I heard that HoloLens and then Office 365 are Microsoft that is getting connected. I mean, a lot of platforms, and HoloLens also going to be a big part of it. Any idea? I'm not very sure about it. Just that I heard about it. But if anybody knows.
not me.
Mm.
Have you tried? Okay, you mentioned about a lot of pipeline thing, right? So probably you are working with all the pipeline magic thing, and how have you tried the open AI thing where you can query something and chat with that, and it will automatically provide you the entire probably script. You don't need to write anything. I don't know whether that is going to work or not, but
But I mean, I think today I was going through Twitter, and then I saw when the code comes from the AI, it will take like 24 hours to debug. Whereas if you write a code to debug, it takes only like 2 hours or 3 hours or something like that. That's how I read a comic about it today. But apart from that, I'm not much. I did not get to see all those things yet. It's mostly whatever we do is like our inbuilt scripts, and our architects write the scripts, and that's how we are doing it. That's
good.
I think that's coming up, I believe. That's something even I did observe today in the Twitter actually.
Okay, good to know about that comparison, right? 3 hours and 3 days. Okay, good one. Yeah, we still have hope on human, so
Still a
human
lot
factor.
True.
Okay, so
Thank
thank you. And who is next? Deepak?
So, so 2022 was a little bit of mix and everything from SCCM, like 2203 came, 2207 came, lock for J started in, I think, in Jan 2022, so we got rid of that, and we were just managing, and suddenly Microsoft decided to deprecate HTTP communication. So we dealt that. And yeah, I think the very last session was about the Azure integration. So that was a little bit good for me because after that I started getting more and more into Azure as Harish was saying, a lot of webhooks, a lot of runbooks. So that was there. And yeah, Kannan already mentioned about Absolute. So we implemented Absolute so that if anyone steals the laptop, Absolute has the capability to wipe it out from BIOS level. So yeah, we implemented that. One of the team requested Tanium, so we implemented Tanium for them. Well, Tanium is just eating everything. It's all your memory and all your space because it's dumping everything from the entire catalog industry, right? So good luck. And we shifted that bar which says that this much percentage should be managed in SCCM and this much should be in team. So we pushed it a little bit more till 100% for Intune. So we are much in Intune now. And yeah, well, I'm an SCCM guy always. So yeah, we are managing both. But it doesn't matter which tool you're using. It's just getting things done for us. And a lot of help getting from the community, from Kannan, from Joy, from you. Jitesh, the most help I get is figuring out my things with Jitesh. Believe me, that when I say that, because either you can take the writing the blogs or anything. The lot help is from Jitesh, so I appreciate that always. But 2023, I would say that I would definitely love to have a physical STMD. I'm all in for 2023 physical event, and I don't care. I don't care where it is. I'm just gonna be present. Okay.
Joy is the person.
Yeah, keep it simple. He has already mentioned. Keep it simple. You can you can read T-shirt. Keep it simple. So yeah, and I think it went pretty well. Not much not much hectic things in 2022. Yeah, and looking for 2023. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. Thank you. You mentioned about Runbook and a lot of SCCM stuff. So I think you are the first one who mainly discussed about SCCM, and kudos for that. I'm also always an SCCM guy, but yeah. I think there are a lot of changes coming into SCCM, and we can evidently see that from everything, right? And there are a lot of brand changes, branding changes happened recently, etc., right? The Microsoft Endpoint Management or manager or management, I forgot actually. That brand name is vanished now. So it has been a crazy year from some perspective.
I
Let's
wish
see.
Microsoft should not change the brand for next 5 years.
I doubt that highly.
Okay, so who
Yeah.
is going next? Jitesh, I think you are the one before Snehashish.
So, like all mentioned, so this year was like a full busy day for the STMD as usual. And as Joy mentioned, like Microsoft keep releasing and doing the enhancement, especially related to the Intune or the cloud in the full-fledged way. So by keeping track and testing all those things and helping the community. So as usual, it's all like a busy year for the STMD community. So moving from basically 2021 to 2022, it was kind of like a full cloud way, we, I can say, because lots of folks are already started jumping towards the SCCM to the Intune, and we are investing our time by preparing solution and helping the customer in the endpoint solution on the or the cloud technology. But coming to the technology wise, mostly all are like mentioned in the detailed manner. So I'm just providing you some quick insight what the best for me this year. So specific for the this year, I think as well the Windows 365 is much more excitement for all of us, and as also sort of highlighted initially, would be the revolution for the in terms of the Windows, and most of the person is loving it and adopting, and also it is providing a full kind of fledged flexibility to work from anywhere, and especially in the remote scenario. So so and also we had conducted SCI user group meetup, I think twice for the year. So that was the most excitement part for the year. And the enhancement related to the Intune, most of the persons are is waiting for the Linux support and the Chrome OS support. So Microsoft also released that. That is it. That is the part of the most excitement in terms of the Intune. And moving forward to the next year, which is 2023, I would say mostly it could be the excitement in terms of whatever the Microsoft has shown in the roadmap. Basically, the Cloud Labs, which is the next solution in terms of the password management and backing up all the local administrator accounts. And the another would be I would pick this privilege management. So privilege management, with the help of that, you will be no longer need to be make any of the user to be local admin. So we can make a standard account privilege management, and with the help of that, we can perform the operation. So that could be the another game changer in terms of all those things. And the next two, I'm waiting for the lots of enhancement, which is the in terms of the Windows 65, which is the offline mode, and the mode in terms of the SSO, and lots of things is coming for the next year. So stay tuned with the STMD community, and keep supporting us, and we all are here to help each other. So that's all.
That's pretty good, Jitesh. So you covered a lot of things. As Joy mentioned, probably daily updates, huh? Intune daily updates, not daily. I'm just
Weekly.
exaggerating that. Yeah, it is weekly update, and no, I know. I don't look into weekly updates. Huh? I normally look into monthly updates. So monthly is fine for me, and even I lose track of SCCM monthly technical preview thing. I stopped following that actually. So yeah, it is cloud is always making us bit crazy, but we are learning a lot of things, and this is the transformation period, right? Probably we will all this will get settle down probably within few years. So a lot of exciting stuff coming, and Jitesh covered about Linux, Chrome OS. Yeah, those are the main things which I was also excited. And the other thing, server support, Intune server support, when is that going to come, huh? We don't know, so we are not going to predict anything because we don't know. So that's Cloud Labs and privilege management, as Joy also mentioned, that offline for Windows 365. Good stuff, Jitesh. Okay, so now last one, but you are the best one, Snehashish. Right, go for it.
Thanks, Anup. Hi everyone. My name is Snehasis, and I have recently joined HTMD. That's very recently, and to talk about what I do in HTMD is I'm currently writing blogs related to the Mac area, and then also I'll be in future providing the blogs on the integration of Intune and mostly on the Mac area. And before I go for that, I'll just talk about how my journey was in the 2022 year, and that was kind of a roller coaster ride because I mean, there are a lot of changes that has been done. I have completed my 6 years journey in IT support, and also this year I was lucky to got my master's degree program. I have completed in system engineering this year as well. And also, I have switched to a different MNC company this year as well, and I have started supporting as Mac admin support, and where we're also adding to that. I have also joined HTMD newly, where we'll be talking about the blogs related to the Intune and mostly on the Microsoft Intune on the integration part and all. So, talking about the exploration that I have done, I think it was kind of a mix with Intune and Jamf, because Jamf is the particular tool we do support on the Mac side, and specifically, Intune has done a lot of improvements with this latest release. It has done a lot of bug fixes. Specifically, if I have to say on the on the visibility side, a lot of companies are switching to Intune MDM support or MAM support rather than using Jamf for iPad and iOS devices. And a lot of companies are also switching to Intune in terms of compliance policies rather than using the Jamf platform, and it is doing a lot of fantastic overall experience for the users. And now that even Jamf is the particularly the most used platform for the Apple devices, but Intune also is having bit of bugs, or in terms of on the compliance check on the inventory part. Intune is trying to make it far better than Jamf, and mostly I think 2023 year also will be on the co-management using both Jamf and Intune, and for sure. Intune is looking into all the six platforms, the Windows, Android, iOS, and the Mac. So for sure, it is going to take some time for the company to bring in the full support in macOS area, and we'll be looking forward to that as well. So let's see how it goes in the future year as well.
Okay, good stuff, Niasis. So you talked about Jamf, and that's good. Jamf versus Intune, and you mentioned about co-management also. I thought,
Yeah.
SCCM and Intune co-management. No, this was not that co-management. This was Jamf and Intune co-management. Yeah, so that is totally a different perspective. Very good point of view. You mentioned about compliance policies and Intune, MAM, etc. So that is helping organizations. So that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. And that is the end of the round table. So we covered all the folks around the table. Now, from my perspective, I think I agree with most of the things. Kannan, you mentioned about driver management, and I think Saurabh already mentioned that it is coming soon, and preview is going to come. I think in Jan itself. I don't remember exactly. I'm getting old. So so yeah, that is coming. Probably you cannot expect everything all right with the preview release and
Mhm.
general availability release. So it is always like, if you look at Intune, it is a slow progress. It is a small step by step progress. That is
Yeah, yeah,
how it works. So
yep,
we need to have some patience, and
yes,
then one day we will reach there. That's for sure. So
that's correct. Anup. So we are be patient, but only the customers has to be a patience, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, yes, yes. Actually, so it's nice to see that the
Yeah,
privilege management, one of the part also, right? I'm excited to see that.
and you mentioned about a good point, end user experience. That is a very good point, and being highlighted in all the Gartner reports and everywhere, right? That is because of all these cloud integrations and all these complexities of hybrid plus cloud. The operations are basically going to get a hit. Okay, one day,
Mm.
probably it's already started. A lot of tickets coming up because of this complex issues, etc. So there is a market for AI ops. uh,
Yep.
Artificial intelligence ops. That framework is integrated into a lot of tooling systems already, and a lot of exciting stuff is coming. So end user experience is a key factor to that. Every organization wanted to keep their employees very happy. Their end users should be very happy. So that is very important. I see a lot of focus over there from a top level management perspective. Okay. So that's good point. And my take, Windows 365, that was exciting for me this year. And personally, I wanted to do a lot of video tutorials probably next year, probably blogs as well, but more video thing. Let's see how that goes. Right. I won't be able to do a lot of in-depth things like Saurabh. So no. That Saurabh is untouchable, so I'm not going that way. Okay. So yeah, that is one thing, and then we are going to try something exciting in terms of new social media technologies or new web technologies which are coming, web stories, something like that, right? With web stories, we can use the posts and we can create web stories and create some exciting things similar to WhatsApp status or Instagram status or something like that. So that is also very exciting for me for the next year. That is from a community standpoint, right? How we can share the things, how we can share the knowledge, etc. And Windows 365, again, I am taking that. One thing missing is multi-session support, or Windows 10 multi-session or Windows 11 multi-session support in Windows 365 world. If Microsoft can integrate that into the similar kind of Intune integration and automation of all these infrastructure side of things, then if Microsoft can handle all those complex scenarios, they building the infrastructure. Because at the moment, if you look at Azure Virtual Desktop (AVD), you need to kind of create your own data center kind of stuff. You need to build a network, you need to build a VM, everything, right? End-to-end management you need to do. That is a big headache. Probably it is not a destination for most of the organization, right? If your organization is looking for a cloudification of all the data center, probably maybe simplification of operations, then probably if we can have something multi-session support and similar in Windows 365 as another option, then that would be a great stuff for the organization. So maybe I have heard some rumors this in some magazines, and it is shared in Twitter and all. So there are AVD is also moving. AVD team is also moving under Windows 365 team, or it is coming under Panos organization, right? Probably, and probably that is an exciting news. So we are going in that direction. Maybe we don't know. Microsoft has not announced anything, so we don't know. But all these are rumors. So very exciting year 2023 for me and for all of us, I think. So, and any last words to the community, folks who are listening to us, who are supporting to us? I only have to say thank you very much. Keep on supporting us. We are here to help you out. Keep reaching to us. If you have any doubt, any issue, keep try to reach out, and we are ready to help whenever possible. Right. So, any last words before we
That
close?
will be that makes sense, because at the end of the day we are here because of the community. If there was no
Mhm.
community, then there wouldn't be any of us in here. So uh, like any help, anything, like most of the time, it's, to be honest, very honest, like we cannot respond to each and every of the messages that are coming directly to our LinkedIn or Twitter messages, but we do try to answer to most of the queries that we get. But then obviously we are here to help, but sometimes from the community end also, you have to understand that we also do we are also engaged in our own work, right? So we
Yes.
also need some time to get back to you on your queries. So this is one thing that I would want to say.
I would like to say that forum.howtomanagdevices.com is the best point of contact. You can get in touch with us there. Even if you are unable to get in touch with any one of us, definitely I'm pretty much confident that you will be getting responses for your question, whatever you're posting. I personally post there and I get a lot of response. So yeah, that's the best place to raise your questions or queries.
And I like your questions because you all always come back with an answer, right? And you try to contact Microsoft support, or you do a lot of R&D based on some of the feedbacks from the forum, and you try to come back with a proper solution, and that is very good. So it is two-way communication always. It is not always one way. Huh? So if we provide some answers, probably we are not always 100% correct. At least I am not. Probably I would make a lot of mistakes. So if you can test those scenarios in I don't know, testing environment or somewhere else, and come back with feedback. Okay, this is not working. What we can do? So that is where the conversation starts. So that feedback is required. And thank you for raising that. Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, I just wanted to top it off by saying that the intent of having this community and all the experts here is learning and sharing. So yeah, let's keep that spirit up, and hoping that we all will get together sometime in 2023, and we will have a record participation, and we will get to meet everybody in person. So yeah, until then, yeah, please keep supporting all of us, and keep learning.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm adding to the several point as well as keep supporting us and keep learning. And so whenever the technical challenges comes as a point of view, right? Some of the things also I don't know, right? It's help us to learn from your point and you may issues. It help us back on our tech whenever you're going to other projects, right? Keep supporting us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so just keep supporting us, and spread the good news, and help the others to be join this community, and this how like things is going on. We are helping each other, and everyone should be like doing the same manner by like pulling together, and this is how the community works. So thank you all for your support.
Empowering the humanity, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
I heard this somewhere. I don't know where. I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last words, Harish, Snehasis?
Keep learning and keep sharing, and then if you share with others, it's also a learning actually.
You wanted to say something like move away from SCCM and start learning Azure.
Cloud is future.
Okay, that's for Deepak.
Cloud
Okay.
is future. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Snehasis?
I think my words will be like keep sharing, and then because we are also going forward with the Mac side as well, so you can share to the Mac people along with SCCM and Intune, so more people can see our post, and then keep asking questions, and then keep sharing to others as well.
Okay, cool. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much for the support again, and probably we will see in person next year, and I'm very excited about that. And thank you all for joining, and thank you all for having a great conversation. And the most important piece is you are contributing to the community, and you are all the community leaders, and we want to have more contribution from the community, and we all will push for that, right? So yeah, thank you very much, and see you next
Thank
time.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
everybody.